Okay, because I was trying to get my little tripod ready. I'm like,
Okay,
okay,
so
perfect.
I just turned on the recording.
Okay.
All right, so you would go to My Matrix and Transaction Desk.
My matrix. Transaction desk. Okay.
Okay, and it's going to pull up to the dashboard. I'm pretty sure this is the agent, not the broker. Yeah, that's the broker. So the dashboard, you can arrange any way you want. This is how I've got mine arranged. And what you want to do is create a transaction. So we're going to create a transaction. But let me go back. If the property is on the MLS, I'm going to close this as soon as it stops. Okay. So what's the property address?
For the one that we're gonna submit. I mean, well, I'm gonna submit on several, but one of the property addresses is 4610 Pleasant Trail. Pleasant Trail.
All right, Pleasant Trail.
0 City 77545. Well, no, that's Fresno.
Now it's a lease, right?
Correct.
Let's see. What's the address on it?
4615 Pleasant Trail.
I'm not seeing it show up. Is
you
it on the,
you didn't have the numbers in there.
You don't have to have the numbers. You
as long as you have the street.
Yeah, as long as you have the street, anything with the name Pleasant comes up. And it's not coming up under Pleasant. So let's try, let me make sure. I'm going to do all properties. And I'll just put in 4610.
So anything with 4615.
4615. Okay, so anything with these numbers should kind of, I got breadcrumbs all over me. All right, 4615. So anything with these numbers should come up. Pleasant Trail, there it is. Okay, so if it's on the MLS, you can set it up this way. So we're going to open it, and this is the lease. See this little burst right here? This takes you directly to
transaction desk. Okay.
And it will it will open it and import everything that's on the listing. So if it has any documents up there, it'll import that into the transaction. And you have to think of a transaction as just as a folder. Okay. So it's going to be the folder for this account.
Krishan. Let flies in here.
Okay, so I usually put mine. The name is, I usually put the client. So let's just say Garcia. And I usually put buy or list. So buy 4615, because you might have, multiple Garcias. So I actually put the last name plus what they're doing and the address. Okay.
So it will be buy, lease, list.
Right. Okay. That's how I do it. You can do it any way you want. The template should give you a drop-down menu, and it should have all the forms in here that you're going to need. And this is going to be leases tenant side. Okay. It's already going to import the information because you came in through the MLS. So it's going to import it in, and you're going to be the selling agent. So we create, And usually it's faster than this. My computer's just a little slow.
Okay.
And this will be with every transaction. If it's on the MLS, you know, if somebody's looking to buy a home, you would hit that starburst from the MLS screen.
Mm.
And it would and then the template you would put residential purchase or residential list or whatever you're doing.
So that everything is already in the templates on here. Okay, I guess it's easier than what you call it.
I don't know why it's taking so long. I'm going to call this agent really quickly.
Okay. I'm on the phone. I mean, these kids. Mute out.
This is David.
Hey, David, it's Mindy Flint with Evan Lloyd Properties. How are you?
Good.
You just confirmed to show my listing on Streeter Place at 4:30.
Yeah, yes. I'm so mad about this, but yes. It's a new agent that I'm doing this for. She's in Europe, and it's a new client. So she wants me to go do it for her. I can't believe it's going to do this.
Well, tell her you can't because it just went under contract.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad to scratch one off. She literally bet me 10.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
All right, I'm super excited to cancel that.
All right. Well, good luck.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. Are you unmuted?
I'm on the phone. I'm doing something right now. See what else now. Okay.
Okay. Then you just kind of put in, I don't think you need this for lease, but I'm just putting it in anyway. Lot, block, property type.
So it didn't, I can't believe it didn't put that in there if it put everything else in there.
Yeah, residential. It's going to be $1,900 a month. Is that what the rent is?
Yeah.
List date. When are they?
She really want to move in like by the 24th.
Closing date, so 23rd.
Oh yeah, that's what I did, the 23rd, because it was a Friday. She want to move in by the 23rd.
Okay. 23rd. And
so closing date is the move-in day.
Closing date's the move-in. It comes up with 2 Evan Lloyd Properties. Just delete off the bottom one because it comes in blank. This one's filled out. The first one's filled out. I don't know why it pulls up 2. I haven't had time to fix it. It will automatically add you as the selling agent. It's got me because I did this, but when you do it on your end, it'll automatically add you on the selling agent. Then you would click add contacts, create new transaction contact because you don't have any contacts in here. If you had contacts in here, if you've had her before, you would just put add existing contact.
Okay.
But we're going to do create new contact, and then she is going to be the buyer. Okay. And then you would add her name, Daisy. We'll just write Daisy. Daisy.
And you said this is they was buying a house, right? Not leasing, or even it's the lease.
It's the lease, yeah, because she's going to be the buyer or the leasee.
Oh, okay. So I saw tenant down there. That confused me.
Did you see tenant? I didn't see.
I saw tenant.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll do tenant, and then you put in all her information.
Okay.
And it should test@email.com. Daisy Duck, you put all this in because you're going to send it directly to her to sign.
Okay.
The legal name is what will be printed on the lease. The
Okay.
preferred signature will be how she signs her name. So,
Okay. When she clicked the button. Okay.
yeah. If you put in a phone number to put it on the lease, you would have to add it for phone. It doesn't put the cell in there. So
Okay.
if you put it for phone, it'll do here.
Okay.
867-5309. I don't know why it's taken so long.
Maybe it's feeling the heat from outside.
Something.
Good. So did you spend a lot of money when y'all was down there those 3 days? I'm trying to take my kids somewhere, but I'm like, I took them to Florida last year. I'm like, so they did like, it's your turn this year. Send some money for them to go somewhere for the summer.
Yeah. We spent more than I mean, I could have done it cheaper, but
Was it under 1,000?
it was probably right at.
Okay. And you said you could have done it cheaper, so you could have done it for like 6?
Yeah. Yeah, we could
'Cause we
have.
don't have to stay 3 days. I feel like we can just go for like a weekend.
Well, if we would have got an Airbnb, it would have been a lot less expensive, but we wanted to stay at a haunted hotel, and so
Haunted?
yeah, we did. I know we did the ghost tour, and then we stayed at the Hotel Galvez, which is supposedly haunted, So
Oh no, I just need a regular little nice resort.
and so the haunted hotel was a little bit more expensive.
Okay.
Okay, so it's got the listing agent in. I don't know why it didn't bring the listing brokerage in. It automatically imports all the forms that you should need.
Okay.
If there's something on here that you don't see that you're going to need, you would just click add, and then you can type in why does it take so long?
Okay.
And then you just type in, whatever you just to find it.
Okay. It don't look too complicated. This video gonna help out a lot though.
Yeah. And then you can add whatever form that you're missing. So we're going to click next. These are the documents. If she had anything on the lease, like anything on the MLS, it would import it into here. Every lease requires our Evan Lloyd Properties W-9, so it automatically comes up. It's going to be in the documents, so it has all of our information.
Okay.
Tenant phases. This is just telling you kind of how to do a lease and what to expect each phase. And then the service animal PDF, and then done. So this, you're still in this transaction. So this folder for Garcia, this is the name up here.
So I just go in and edit.
Yeah, you're in this folder. So you can go to, in the folder has different sections. It has the document section, the contacts, the forms. And on the checklist, it has the checklist. The checklist will tell you every document that you need to turn in with this file. The CDA, if it has mandatory, you need to turn that in with the file. And that's what I was saying. You can do your leases and purchases for your buyers or sellers in any program you want to, as long as you turn it in Transaction Desk.
Okay. Well, I feel like that'll be overworking myself. I might as well just do it in Transaction Desk.
Yeah. I mean, it's your call. If you have documents, let's say, so they emailed you the document after the seller signed. You can click on this little envelope up here, copy the email address, and then go to your mail. Anything with an attachment, all you have to do is forward it to that address, and it automatically, let me move this. It automatically adds it into the document section. So I'm going to delete all this because I don't want that into the document section. And I'm going to hit send, and it'll put this into the document section of that transaction. So any document you want in there, you can just forward it directly to your folder or to your transaction. So let's say I want to, you want to attach the lease. It has to be in the document section for you to attach it. And so we're going to documents.
I want you not to have pancake mix everywhere. Make sure you wipe up.
All right, see, we're in the documents. We're gonna just pretend like this is the lease. I'm gonna click it here, click submit. It's not letting me submit. I don't know if it's just running slow or if it's just not letting
You
me.
can actually leave it in the freezer in the garage, Krishan, so it can defrost quick. Put it in a bowl though, one of them little bowls. Did you get that green bowl from out there, that blue bowl? Rinse it off.
Okay, see how it pops this up now?
Mm-hmm.
Popping it up a lot. So we're gonna say this is the lease. Lease applications. So we're gonna say it's the lease. And we're just gonna click submit. And that turns it in. And it'll notify me on my end that you submitted this. And you can go to the checklist at any time to see what documents you need.
And so that's all gonna be in the template, right? Like the CDA and stuff. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all gonna be under forms. So
what is CDA again? I know that sounds familiar, but I'm like, I ain't used one in so long. I'm like, what is
commission
like
disbursement?
I was gonna say to get paid. Yeah.
Yeah, it's to get paid commission. So everything's going to be in forms. This is the checklist that tells you what you need. These right here down here are little timers or reminders on what to do. You know, have tenants fill out applications 11 days before closing, call landlords anytime. It's just little reminders on
Oh,
what
that's good. So with the template already having it right there, it's not already in the folder. We have to go to forms and add it. It's just telling us what we need to go to forms and add, right?
all the forms should be here. It's
Okay.
going to be in forms inside this folder. Now, see, I am still in, and I'm still in that folder. I just backed out of the folder, and this is my dashboard, and these are my different transactions. So I'm going to, anytime you go into the transaction, you're going to have your forms, your documents, you know, it's going to be checklist. Everything applies to that transaction. So if you want to go to forms, and this is where the lease applications would be, or whatever form that you might need. And if you need to add one, you just add it. And then you would click on it. Make sure it's filled out. And I'll tell you how to send for signatures. Okay, so this is the IABS. Make sure it's filled out with your information. And so you're going to send up here. You're going to click to sign. It automatically brings in the IABS. If you go to docs.
Okay.
So you can go to docs. So you got your signers, docs, tools, layouts. We're going to go to docs. And let's say we want to add 5 other forms. And so we're going to add these forms. Signers, we're going to add participants, and we're going to add them from the transaction. We're going to add me as a selling agent if you wanted to add your client. And right here you can add for them to review or just a CC.
Okay.
So right now we're just going to add me as a remote signer. It's just taking so long.
Cut that down.
Normally it just does not take this long. Let me go back.
Cut that light off. Yeah, you can. It's daylight. You can see perfectly fine.
All right, so if you needed to add the signatures, because normally it will put the signatures there.
We just pull it over.
Yeah, it'll pull it for the buyer, but we didn't put the buyer. We just put the selling agent, so it didn't put any on there.
Oh,
Let's go back. Let's add and see if it does it. Signers, let's add Daisy Duck.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so buyer is going to be Daisy Duck. See how it's got her signature there now?
Mm-hmm.
And anywhere else you need her signature, you can just go to tools and you can switch back and forth between
The buyer and the seller.
the buyer. Yeah. So this is me right now. I've got me and I've got Daisy. So let's say Daisy Duck's signature needs to be right here, but they don't have anything there. So you're just going to put sign here and just carry it over. It automatically puts the date. They still don't have Daisy's. They should have had hers. If they didn't have her name, you could just full name, and bring that over. If you needed to add something, you can put text box right there, and you can type in whatever you need it to type in.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, you just have to play around with it. I'm going to let you applicant signature. I'm going to, right now, I'm going to email it to myself so you can see what it looks like when they get it.
Okay.
So I'm just going to change the email. And I'm gonna make that a CC. Okay, on this, you can send it to, you can customize the invitations right there and leave a message like signing a lease. And then put please sign or whatever you want to.
Okay, go eat so you can finish wiping up. They look good.
How many leases have you done?
Like in my whole career.
Yeah.
Like let's say like 6 or 7.
Okay, so I mean, if you don't feel, do you feel comfortable enough to fill it out on your own, or will you need?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, some stuff I still might have to send, but the thing is, if I had a video to like go over and check over my stuff, then I would be a lot fine. But most of the stuff like the lease app and all that type of stuff, everything, all of this type of stuff, I should be okay. But the only thing to me, I feel like it's like the buyers contracts and all of that.
Right.
But like as far as the lease stuff, yeah.
You're good with it. See, here's what it looks like when they get it. So this is so you'll see what it looks like when you email it to your client. It's going to look like this, and see how it says lease agreement and any message you put. So they would just click start signing. I accept, which they have to agree to sign by electronic. So that's what they're accepting. They're signing electronically. Normally they get to pick their font that they want, but it's not showing you that because I've already signed with this. And then they would just, oh, here it is. So if they wanted to change the font, they could. It's their choice, because you might get a client saying, hey, what do I do? You know, and that's just saying they can keep the font that's there, but normally it's just set signature, and then they would click it and it's done.
Okay.
And they could download it or print it from here, but they'll also get an email copy. See right here, they'll also get an email copy where they can download it after they've signed it.
Okay.
So once they've signed it, it will automatically put it into the document section of this transaction. It has this lock on it. So this lock is saying, hey, they signed it electronically, and it shows you that this and this are signed. And if you wanted to submit this, this is going to be one of them. So you would submit this IABS. We're going to attach it to the IABS, and you're going to submit. IABS there. And then this watch shows you that it's submitted. And you can look on the checklist too, and then you can see that the IABS is submitted, this one's submitted, and you're going to need these forms. If you have to add any other forms that you want me to review, just click add. Under the checklist, you click add, and it's not a checklist item. Yeah, add checklist item. Yeah, it would be a checklist. No, we're not going to do that. Add, just add checklist. And it's taking forever to load. But that's basically about it.
Okay.
The main thing is understanding the transaction and how it works. You know, as long as you think of the transaction as a folder, and then you have your different tabs in your folder. You've got your document section of that folder. You've got the forms of that folder. You've got the signings. You can look and see what signings you've sent for that folder and if everybody's complete. You know, it's just as long as you can wrap your head around the transaction and how it's set up, then it's pretty simple.
Okay.
Make sure you fill out the contacts as much as possible, because it's good to keep all of your numbers together, you know, your clients' numbers. And then that way, if I have to go in and check and call somebody, that contact's there and I have it.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, not on that. Oh, so if I do it through zip forms and so I have to go through all of this still, right? Or is it somewhere I can just make the transaction and just upload everything?
You would have to create the transaction, and you can create it by doing that button we did from the MLS, that Starburst.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can go directly to transaction desk and do
Create a transaction.
Create a transaction. But I think it'll ask you for the MLS number if it's on the MLS, and you'll have to type in the MLS number.
Okay.
And you won't have to fill out all the detail information, but you will have to have the contacts in there. So I will have the contacts of like your client.
So I know I had another question when, do you deal with Section 8 clients?
Do we do those?
Well, do you deal with them like as far as leasing? And I was trying to see if it was an easy way, because I've had like several people reaching out to me with that. And also the clients with low credit. Like, is there some type of, they keep asking about these lease to buy, like a rent to own. And do you have a preferred credit repair person?
I do have a credit repair person that I could send you. Low credit, they usually require a larger down payment, you know, so you could ask your client how much they have down. There
as
are
far as
some
leases, I'm talking about first, really.
Huh?
As far as leases.
A lease to own?
No, just rent. Like if someone want to rent a property.
A rent to own, or you're just talking about leasing?
No, just a lease. And then, say like their credit is like 575 or 580, 590. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not quite at 620. Is there a script or a pitch or any way that you can kind of help them get in? Double deposit.
Each landlord is different. So one landlord might take something lower than another. You know, a lot of times if they write something saying why it's the,
a letter's explanation. Right.
Yeah, they just went through a divorce, have like me, I got divorced, stay-at-home mom. I had no credit, because I was a stay-at-home mom for 19 years. If they write that out, something like that, that might help. But it's just each landlord's different. And we do Section 8. I have an agent, Beverly Birdsong, and I can connect you to. She's like the expert for the housing vouchers. Is that what you're talking about? The housing vouchers?
Correct.
Yeah, she could probably answer your questions better than I could.
Yeah, I definitely would, because they're asking me like, what's the best way to find a home, and
Yeah, this thing's still.
And also, okay, now for the rent to own, like the clients, of course, I try to stay away from that, because I know they can be, they can be paying their mortgage and then the company is not paying, and then it's the whole big shebang. But do you have any companies that are reputable as far as that? Because I know a lot of times they be, having lower credit scores.
There's a couple of builders. I know there's one over in Hockley, Waller Hockley area. It's like a lease to own builder. But that's really about it.
And that's in Hockley. Whew. Okay.
Yeah, Hockley Waller area. And I heard they're building one in Cypress by me, by Fairfield. You know, I don't know if it's true or not, but there's a subdivision coming up, and somebody told me it was a lease to own subdivision.
Hmm.
But okay, so to answer your question, for if you want to do them on zip forms, so you create the transaction and then you would just email the forms in like I showed you earlier. Like you would click on that,
Okay.
copy the email address, forward it into the documents, and then it would be forwarded. They would all be placed into the documents of the transaction, and then you would just submit them.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll go through it and then I'll watch the video if I have any issues.
Yeah, and I'll connect you with Beverly. That way she can answer some of the vouchers for you, the voucher questions.
Okay.
Congrats on this.
Thank you.
Yay. So do you work full time?
So I'm still in the salon, but I only work the salon I set my schedule out and I really just do Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays now. Because I was working at the Port of Houston driving trucks, but I have to go back up there in like September. But I was gonna tell you too, I know I'm on the other side of town, but if you ever need anything or any other agents, look, I'm always willing to make you guys need. I know y'all be overwhelmed. Y'all have a lot of things. I can definitely be a help.
Yeah. Now, are you like calling anybody on your days off? Like,
Yeah, I actually have calls that I got to make today. I had a lease listing that I just, had with Coa Banker, one of my friends' aunt. And so I was getting a lot of calls from Zillow and from, HR, a lot of messages. So I took down all of those people and just kind of been going through them, calling them to see if they still need help with their property search, letting them know their property is no longer available, but I would love to help you find another property. So some of them have stopped looking. Most of them have credit issues. It's a fair few of them that they kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, they want to move like in August or the next month. I'm like, we can't look too early unless you're going to be paying rent in two places.
yeah.
So it's like I'm just kind of trying to separate the hot leads from the warm leads from the cool leads. So
Well, try to watch the videos on YouTube about finding listings not on the MLS. It's really good if you go for properties where the owner lives out of state. And just call them, get their numbers and call them and see if they want to sell. That is going to be your best way of finding listings. And I think it's so easy to find sellers. Buyers are a little harder, but once you get your sign in front of a driveway, in front of a house, in front of a listing, if you get your sign, you'll have the buyers calling you.
And you said call the ones that are out of town. I mean, so how am I gonna know? So that's those videos on your YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's finding
Listings
MLS,
not on the MLS.
not on the MLS. Finding listings not on the MLS. Yeah, you want to call your listings the property owners that do not live at the address. And I show you how to do all that, but that's going to be your quickest way of getting listings. And listings are like gold. Those are the ones that get you all your buyers.
I'm telling you, that is when I had that little lease listing, it was like, and that wasn't even a sale. I was like, I stopped answering the phone. I just start saying I'm with a client. I have a little text that I sent out.
Mm-hmm.
And once they text me back, or either I text them back, or I'd be like, I was so overwhelmed. I was,
yeah,
they were flooding in though, so I can just imagine if it was for a purchase.
Yeah,
and even some of those clients are ready to purchase. They've started enrolled in credit repair. Some of them need credit repair. People don't want to pay for it. It's like some of them have said something about, oh yeah, figured I would just go ahead and purchase, but I'm working on a few things on my credit right now.
Yeah, well, the lease, they turn into buyers, and if you're
Right.
keeping in touch with them, they should be
Right.
getting ready to buy.
Right. So I have my list of
Yeah,
the ones that I need to, reach back out to and around make sure I put the time frame,
yeah.
so.
Okay, well, I will stop this recording now. It's probably going to be too big for me to email to you, but I'll upload it onto Google or something, some way where you can watch it.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay, and call me if you have any questions.
Okay, so that's all I really need right now was that broker information, the numbers and stuff, right?
Yeah, and it's going to
Okay.
be, once you open that transaction, it'll all be in the document section of the transaction.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, talk to you later.
All right, have a good one.
Bye.